Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Boy and Girl Thing. I'm Kit Smith, and I'm the author of the book, Let's Meet Our Match, Your Complete Guide to Success in the World of Internet Dating. And on my left, as always,
I am Cece Schatz, and I am the
doyen
of dating and relationship building. I have been helping individuals over the years through relationship loss, divorce, to the transition of dating, and really living your best life as being single. And that's what I'm all about with the entire Going Solo network. That's what we're building here.
It's all about moving forward.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And loving your life. Yeah. Absolutely loving your life. So how's it been going for you?
No real complaints. I mean, nobody wants to hear them anyway.
I've heard them, and you don't want to. Well, we'll kick off to the show. Let's kick it off like we always do. Cheers, and let's move on to our topic. Our topic tonight is 8 ways to make your online dating work for you. Wow, 8 ways.
There's probably more than that, but these are the bullet points, if you will, of things you can do to make the process go a little easier.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them right up there for you so that you can see. And the first one, you want to read it?
Sure, let's do it.
Set your priorities for the online partners. Is that right? Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Set your priorities. So. Yeah, for online partners. Well, I guess what that really means is know what your priorities are before you start dating. What you want as a partner to come into your life.
There's probably a fine line between, the idea of setting your priorities, and the other side would be a wish list, bucket list kind of thing. Where
here, let me get my notepad out.
And
thank God there's multiple pages.
And online dating sites can give you the perception that, and again, probably because there's so many people utilizing sites today, and there's no signs of it slowing down.
Right.
But it gives you the perception that you can just create a recipe. A wish list, bucket list.
Right. Okay. So what we have to do is bring it back.
What are the most important?
Yeah. What are the most important things? And I was thinking about, actually, it's funny because we were talking about this today, as I was thinking about myself, dating and what I'm really looking for in a partner. And, I know I've never said this before, but I want someone that really gets me, really understands the importance of what I do, why I do it. And, so far, the people that I have chosen to date, they have no clue. They have no clue at all of why I value what I do. And so therefore, they don't really know me.
Let me ask you this question, though. And it's understandable.
Let's get down into it.
Well, you're one of the most extremely motivated people I've ever met.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Is that good or bad?
And, well, again, it's a matter of like, what angle are we looking at it? Okay. Are we looking at it as Cece, the single woman, hoping to find a wonderful companion? Or are we looking at it as Cece, the businesswoman, who's hoping a guy can just get on the wagon with her and just go along with the flow?
No, I get what you're saying, but the thing is if the person that's coming into my life doesn't understand the importance of my passion, then how can they truly understand me?
Okay.
And so what I've realized, stepping back, looking at my past relationships recently, is I realized that their focus, and I do believe that we all go into relationships for a reason. There's a personal reason each of us have of our own that we go into it for. And so I think to have a clear understanding of what that is probably very valuable.
Chances are, okay, and especially in our age bracket, you and I are baby boomers. We have a lot of history behind us. And as will as will people that we meet in this age bracket.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think someone is ready to play second fiddle. Chances are, in their previous or prior relationships, they played second fiddle to something. And maybe that's part of it, is they get the sense.
I don't know. I think you got a valid point there. I agree with that. And I do think that maybe
You're so driven and so motivated to the point where sometimes I worry about your health.
Well, that's true. But on the same token, that I'm also a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And I take time out. I take time out to do things. I mean, I'm looking to travel. I'm forming a traveling group, so we can get together and travel together. So I'm a lot of fun, and I like to do a lot of different things.
Great sense of humor.
So I'm not just like all in the office working all the time. So I'm a very sociable kind of person. But the trouble I've had is that in my past relationships, the men that I'm with are not social. So they want to sit home and watch TV all the time, and I'm totally the opposite.
Right.
So I need to get, and again, I think that our thing here is figure out what your priorities are. Mine isn't that I want him to be able to go out and party up all the time, but it's important for me, if I'm just sharing with the audience, it's important for me to know that my partner really gets me and understands where I'm coming from and understands the passion, because it's not just me. It's not just about creating something or building something or going out and having a great time. It's changing lives. I feel like I'm changing lives with each and everything that I do. And so I need to know that my guy in my life is going to understand that that's what I'm there for, and that's what I'm trying to do, and gets it.
And in most cases, it is going to take priority.
Yeah. And the thing is that it is so important, and you got me going, and because it is so important to me, I hope that he will take pride in whatever I do and the successes that I make going forward. I would love to have someone by my side saying, wow, this is an awesome woman, and therefore I have an awesome man in my corner. So anyhow, that's just a little bit about me, but I was just thinking about this topic tonight, and I thought, it truly is, you have to understand yourself, number one, what's important to you, and then you have to understand what kind of partner you want in life. Where do you want to partner up with somebody, and why? I've had men that I've gone out with that they're really looking for a companion. Of course, they're looking for someone that will be their mom, and take care of them, and they're looking for a nurse because they're in the senior part of their years and they've got aches and pains and troubles, and they want someone to nurse them. I'm not saying I wouldn't be happy to do all of those things, but I want to make sure that you love me first. Right. That you don't love the nurse in me or the whatever first. I want you to know that you love me first, and to love me, you have to understand my passions. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Use a site that fits mostly closely to your own interests. Now, I really like this one because there are a lot of sites out there that are different, and
they have come to be called niche sites.
Right.
There's a multitude of them.
And there's a new site out that I've heard of. It's called, what is the name of it? Date the Right One. And I think that's a real niche site that really focuses on people's passion and understanding and helping them really grow within so they can have an equal match.
But the one thing about that site is it's not narrowed down to a specific element of someone's life.
Right.
Okay. For example, what I'm referring to is there's dating sites based on religion, Christian mingle, Jewish singles, and there's several more like that. We don't narrow it down to
this particular site, Date the Right One, doesn't narrow it down. Yeah. And the other thing is what I've noticed about that particular site, and I think that's in the works of coming out, is that it also has groups. So it helps you to be able to join together and meet each other so that you can kind of, in a relaxed environment of an interest that you have a passion for, get to know each other.
And the one thing about that kind of element is you're going to see the person physically.
Yes.
Okay, which is kind of different from what we're used to with online dating, where we're just analyzing pictures. We're seeing how we feel about someone based on a picture.
Right.
So date the right one gets much closer to the traditional or conventional way we used to meet people. Okay, and that to me is a good thing, because right away, and here we go. Okay, there's the establishment or not of chemistry.
Right.
Okay.
And what better way to be able to really
You have to
kind
be
of
in the,
get that,
you have to be in the presence of the other person.
Get it, yeah. I mean, so you get all of that, and and this site is so unique because it has coaches and mentors and therapists and individuals that share in the same passion of helping others. So, I can't wait for that site for sure. I think that site's going to be really great. So, what's the next one?
Don't substitute online communication for the real thing. And brother, I couldn't agree with that more. Okay, I would say to anyone, chat, instant messaging is a great thing. It's a wonderful thing that has evolved along with just the internet in general.
Right.
Okay, but nothing replaces the interaction face to face. So I get to see you face to face and then hear your voice, as opposed to reading the words that you're typing.
Right.
I get to hear your voice, and that contributes to whether I'm attracted to you or not. So yes,
so very quickly, what you want to do, again, I know that we've talked about this before, is that you want to chat online a little bit, do your emails back and forth a little bit to see if you still have the right interests. Get on the phone and start talking to each other. Share your phone numbers and get on the phone and talk. If you're okay with the voice, the sound of the voice, if there's still an interest there, then gosh darn it, meet in person. You know, meet absolutely person.
Yes.
Keep your very first meeting. Guys, you don't have to buy the women dinner. I know the women are always going to ask you for dinner. You don't have to do that. You can just go and have a drink somewhere. Just have a coffee. I've met at Dunkin' Donuts. I've met it at, Panera Bread. I've met at places like that. You can just do that. And then if you want to, what you want to do is you want to keep that very first meeting, and I call it a meeting. You want to keep that very first one very short and get to know each other, but keep it kind of short, but then with hopes of lining up the next date. And that is a date. I do not call the meeting a date. It's not a date. You buy me a cup of coffee or you buy me a glass of wine or something. That is not a date, guys. So then you want to take them on a date, and you want to take them on a date after you've learned a little bit about them and share their interests a little bit. Then you want to start, being really kind of cool and really taking an interest of what they like, what the women like, and try to be kind of neat on your first date. So let's go on to the next one. The next one is be realistic. And I think that that's truly something we all have to do. We have to be authentic, No
question. Yeah. And that goes both ways in the sense that we kind of touched on this earlier, and that is
I'm coming out. Sorry.
You're when you create your written profile, it isn't necessarily meant for you to create a wish list or anything of that nature.
I think we have that on here too. Right. Here it goes.
And
write your own profile truthfully, clearly, and
as uniquely
as
possible.
Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it real. And I will share with you on a particular site that I'm on. I fibbed about my age, and you can never change that once it's like that.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I talk to someone, I tell them straight up, why I did it, my age. If you're okay with it, that's cool. If you're not, that's fine too. But you know, I am a younger version of my age, I think. Although I think I'm slowly catching up with my age.
Yeah.
But I am you know, a little bit more feisty than my age. So, but with saying that, I also come straight up and say that I do have a younger son, you know, which my age is very rare to have a younger child such as my Harry, and who doesn't live with me. So it never seems to bother people because he doesn't live with me all the time. But what a joy the boy is. And I have to admit, any man that I have ever been with has always been very cool about it.
Yeah.
And again, you know, my passion is my family.
Harry's at an age right now, okay, where
now he doesn't even want to be with mom.
Yeah, that and I mean, mom and her boyfriend can decide, okay, well, we're going to go down to the beach today and just hang out on the boardwalk at John's Pass. And Harry would be like, okay, mom, see ya.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't have to bring Harry along. You don't have to.
And he's got you know, what's beautiful about my son is he has his own life. He's created.
He's at an age where that's not it's not an impediment. Mm-hmm. Okay, for you to have a great one-on-one relationship with someone. Yeah. Now, if he was 8 years old.
Oh yeah.
Now we're talking,
and then, if he was a little tyke or something like that, and you know what, and that does happen. You know, with older individuals such as ourselves, we end up starting to have to watch our grandchildren more and do more with our grandchildren. Which, you know, I love kids, so I don't really have a problem with that. But that is an important issue, and you do have to be real about that. If you want to spend time with your grandchildren and they're little, you need to share that with your potential partner. You know, and if they don't like kids and they don't want to be around little kids, then hey, you know, that's to me a deal breaker. The next one is don't assume that the personality tests are perfect. Okay, some of these sites that you will find, they have these personality tests, or you answer questions and you put them in.
And it's not just personality. It can be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, eHarmony is notorious for their 2-hour question and answer.
Right, and then you get people contacting you that are totally nothing like what you answered. So the reality is hey, I think the sites don't always get it right. The sites are this. They are there to help you meet someone. They are, and some maybe have some unique abilities to them. I think like Date the Right One is very, very different.
If you take a step back, okay, dating sites are not relationship sites. Dating sites are introduction sites.
Most of them.
Okay, that's what they are. They are a vehicle for you to create an introduction. All right, they're not the be all end all for relationship creation.
Right.
Okay, and if you understand that and realize that this is what the sites do, you'll be so much the better for it in the long run. You won't get as frustrated. You won't get as aggravated.
Right.
Okay. And the one thing that the sites allow you to do is simply you begin communicating with someone and it's not going in a way that you want it to go, or you're seeing or reading things that are just not going to work for you. Well, thank you very much and goodbye.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. Okay. So if you see the sites in that light, then you will have a better appreciation and understanding of what they do, and it'll work better for you.
Hey, Janice. Hi. Just wanted to say hello. So we'll show her up there. Hi, it's great to have you on the show. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate that. Let's go on to the next one. Beware of online liars. And oh, yes, they are totally out there.
Yeah, there's
totally online liars.
Sadly, that's one of the negatives.
And that's part of the game. I mean, it's just part of the way it is. But the reality is like you just need to move on. Just, you know, move on from those. When your gut starts telling you something's not right, it is not right, and you need to just close it down and move forward. Listen to your gut. Both men and women have it. We have our own instincts. and you just need to move forward. No one needs to be ever asking you for money. If they ever ask you for money, you don't want to give them money.
This is a point where you cannot allow your emotions to overtake your common sense or your instincts. It's right at that point. Okay, you start, and literally, you start falling in love with a picture and a chat screen. Okay, you're leaving yourself vulnerable.
Right.
This is not the site's fault. Okay. Now, you might want to say, well, the site should do a better job monitoring the people that sign up for it. It's not exactly what they do. Okay. Until someone misbehaves.
Right.
Then they step in and say, okay, you know, but the point is, you don't have anything, in my eyes, you don't have anything until you meet that person in person. So if you're going to allow yourself to be drawn in because your emotions are taking over, then you're going to become a victim like so many others have. And that's not the site's fault.
Absolutely. The thing is, you must always have safety first.
Absolutely.
Safety has always got to be first. And women, you need to pay attention to this. Men, you need to pay attention to this. Don't think that it may not happen to you. Things may happen to you.
If a guy comes on there with pictures that look like George Clooney,
I would say, come on, sweetie.
Yeah, right. Right. Until George says, I'm over in South Africa and I won't be able to come and see you unless you send me $1,000 for a plane ticket or more.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, George Clooney don't look all that attractive, or he shouldn't. Okay. And that's exactly how people get, and it's happened to men too. I wrote an article a while back about a PhD from University of North Carolina that got sucked in that way. Okay.
Right.
So it's not, I don't ever want to sit here and say it's only this happens to the women.
Yeah.
No, it happens to the men
and we
too.
should do a whole show really on safety, because I think that's so valuable.
So,
the
moment you start to feel like you're being drawn in because of the attractiveness of the pictures and the charm with which the person is communicating with you on the chat screen, this is where you got to stop and go get take a sip of cold water.
Right.
Okay. You got to take a step back. In my book, I devoted a whole chapter to this. Okay. Three things. Kind of hurry up here. Take a step back. Take a deep breath. Take a moment to think.
That's right. That's that's very good advice. Well, let's go on to the last one, and I think this is so vital when you're dating: is don't let the negative outcome affect your self-esteem.
No question.
Absolutely, it's so.
No question.
And it's a numbers game when you're out there dating. Oh, you know what? We got Bruce Starr. Woohoo! We got Bruce Starr in the lobby. We'll bring him up. He said, Bruce Starr says, my first book was all about internet dating.
Hey, Bruce, nice to see you.
Yeah,
Bruce
dating
is
expert.
my buddy.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite people.
And you know what? He is on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network at 9 o'clock. So right here on the same Facebook, our Facebook page, he will be here at 9 o'clock. He has a matchmaker, I believe, a coach matchmaker is coming on from Canada. That's going to be a very exciting show, so I'm excited about that. But I do believe that. I think if you start with negative will happen. You need to be on, and I've listened to Bruce say this all the time. You need to be in that plane, that zone. And what will happen is goodness, when you think of goodness will come to you.
Right.
And so I have all these beautiful, wonderful people in my life that say the same thing, and I love that.
Well,
hey, we've got to end our program here. Oh, no, we don't, not yet. We got a couple more minutes.
Our point that we were working on here was don't let a negative outcome damage your self-esteem.
Yes.
Okay. And there is scientific evidence, proof, if you will, that the fear of rejection or the pain of rejection is real.
Yeah. Oh,
there's an element in our brain where we feel the pain of rejection, like we would feel if I stuck you with a knife in your arm.
Mm-hmm.
The same. Okay, so that is real. It's not a metaphor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the point is that with online dating sites, if it doesn't materialize, if it doesn't turn into you meeting each other in person, don't take it as flat out rejection. It's not. It just, the pieces didn't come together.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, okay, here's the thing for me. I think about when I'm online dating. I think, and I don't really care how long it's going to take me. And I just think about that person that I'm looking for, or I'm waiting for, or I'm hoping to meet is worth it.
Yeah.
And if it takes me, however long it takes me, then so be it.
Right.
Because I have to learn something as I'm moving along, my path in life. But the reality is when I finally get to that point, I know he will be there. So we just want to be thinking positive. We want to keep working on ourselves to build ourselves up, to keep us in that right plane, to be able to, generate goodness into our lives. So, hey, I just think this show is awesome. What do you guys think? The boy and girl thing?
Oh, there's no question.
I know we don't argue too much, I don't think, on this show, do we? No, we don't argue too much.
We our relationship is,
we argue often.
that and we have a solemn oath to one another of we agree to disagree. Okay.
Although he does get pretty mad at me at times.
Oh, if you only knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's always nice to make up.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Well, that's the differences between men and women. And shoot, man, it's awesome. Because we don't want to be the same. We want to be different. We want to be able to come into our own and, enjoy the opposite of what we are. Yeah. So I think it's all a good thing. So I hope you like us here on Boy and Girl Thing.
Absolutely. I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I like us here.
So we'll be right back here next week. Hope you'll meet us in the same time, same place. And this is CC Schatz.
And this is Kit Smith.
And we're signing off for now. This is the Boy and Girl Thing. We'll see you next week. Bye.